Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have a Toshiba laptop. This one is a Toshiba L40d model, but in this video we're gonna do something different. We got this one brought it in with all tapes all around the hinges. The hinge is broken, like the whole thing is like falling apart. I don't know how much damage is inside. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna show you the proper way of repairing the hinges and how you can do it the proper way. Again, I'm gonna show you how to fix it properly and what's supposed to put it, but because of the budget limit of the client, we're gonna be using the same casing, everything. So we could have replaced the back plate, but if you want to keep it under the budget but do it properly, I'm gonna show you in step by step. So first thing first, we're gonna power off the laptop and we're gonna remove the screws at the back side. So let's close it down. You can see the whole thing is coming off. So we're gonna grab our screwdriver set. It's kind of melted right here. I'll be using an UFIXTEK screwdriver set. We're gonna use a Phillips number 1 or 0. You're gonna use an opening tool, a guitar pick, a curved tweezers, toothbrush, alcohol 95% plus. So we're gonna start from one corner, remove all the screws on the bottom. This applies for any Toshiba L40d models, so series, and the same logic goes for every other laptop. So pretty much I can't open up every laptop to show you guys how to fix it until I get the broken ones. I might do this in 2 parts because we have to fix and glue few stuff, leave it to curing for 24 hours. And there's a missing screw. We're gonna remove the cover for the RAM. All the screws are the same size and height, so remove the cover for the RAM. There's few more screws underneath. Remove these ones. Slide out the DVD drive, put it to one side. Remove the bottom cover, just lift it up from this side, bring it up, wiggle it around, and you should be able to remove it. So first thing first, I see the corner holes are not damaged, so that's a positive thing. I see a piece of plastic right in the fan. I'm gonna remove those. You can open up the fan and clean it up, but we do have to remove the fan anyway. So the battery is right here. To remove the battery, remove one screw right here on the back and lift up the battery, slide it out. The battery connector is right under this speaker. Lift up the speaker, bring it upward. I don't know if there was a screw right here. Remove the screws if you guys have any screw in the middle here. So detach the speakers, lift them upward, and untangle the battery cable right here and pull back the jack so you can disconnect the battery. Alright, now we need to remove the hinges. So on this side is a metal plate. Remove the screw beside it. Lift up. This plate is soldered, is patched to the hinges, so I can open it up and the hinge will come out like that. So we need to remove the fan on this side, the screws for the fan. One. I don't know if there was a screw here. If there's one screw for you guys, remove it. This one has been already taken somewhere else, so we're gonna use logic here. Remove the tape on top. Do not pull on the cables. Pull really close to the jack, so you don't want to damage the cable. So put your fingers at the side of the jack and wiggle it around and pull it upward. Okay, you can clean up the dock system in case. To remove the flex cable, grab this flip thing right here and pull it up towards the ceiling and remove it. We need to get the Wi-Fi cable removed. The Wi-Fi cable goes under the motherboard. I have no idea why, but this is just because of that we have to remove the whole motherboard. But gotta do it. So disconnect this one. disconnect this one right here. We gotta remove this connector. Just lift up the connector about 1 millimeters upward. The flex cable has to come up. Remove the flex cable. The on-off switch flex cable, lift up the jack. Pull up the connector. The power jack connector, disconnect this one too. Just pull it back. And remove the hard drive. Remove the screws on the caddy. There should be 2 of them. And we slide back the hard drive. Remove trackpad. Lift up the lock upward. And pull up the jack backward. There's the one of the flex cable is right there. The flex cable for the keyboard is on the other side. But let's go ahead and first remove the motherboard. Remove the flat screw right there. And there should be a screw on the other side then. I don't see a screw here. So we need to remove the flex cable for the keyboard. So we're gonna gently open it up. Use the guitar pick to put it between the keyboard, top side, bottom side. We need to lift it open, remove it. So first move it around, make sure that it's on the bottom side. The tiny hinges, you need to find those hinges with a guitar pick. Just loose them up. Work yourself all around. On the bottom side only. There we go. Grab it from the middle, bring it up, detach the sides. And right now we need to remove this flex cable. Pull this jack backward like that. Just about 1 millimeter. And the flex cable should get released. Once we have that one released, there's no more contact here. And the motherboard is just gonna fall off on the other side if I flip it. So I'm gonna put it on the edge of the table. Or maybe this way you can see. So pretty much I can just simply pick up the motherboard, the tiny hinge here, and detach the motherboard and put the motherboard on this different place. So right now we can untangle this cables. You can run the cables over the motherboard. You don't have to go under the motherboard, but yeah. So make sure you untangle it right there. Now there's one more screw right in here by the hinges under the motherboard it was. We need to remove this screw. Good. Now we can detach the palm rest from the screen. So I see that this part is okay. There's no broken screw holes or screw mounts. So we are okay here. If it's broken, you have to put an adhesive and some JB weld, glue, and epoxy and fix it up. But in here, we don't have problem on this side. We're gonna work on this end. So I see this hinge is kind of broken. First, we're gonna take a note how the cables go. So the black cable comes from this side to this side, this antenna, and this one is coming through inside. You can take a picture so you know which way it goes. Once we have this one ready, we're gonna cut the tape that the client put on. So we're gonna cut it nicely all around. I'm gonna put a workshop towel on the screen so you guys don't reflect the light on the screen. There we go. Now we're gonna look at the hinge just came out. Move the cables out of the way. Untangle this one. Just grab it from the side, wiggle it around, and it should release. Pretty much I'm just wobbling it around like this and it will release itself. So the tiny clips are getting loose, so that's what you want to do. There we go. So this side is kind of broken. We can fix this one up, so that's not a big deal. So you're gonna remove all those tapes in here, everything, and then in here we can put a little bit of the JB weld silicone and put a tiny aluminum tape over to give a little more firm, a little more steadiness. But this is just a bezel, it's not that important, it's not holding anything together. So down here we're gonna see this hinge is broken. There's no screws, the screws are falling off and they're all gone. So what are we gonna do now? It's to fix, clean it up, and make sure it's ready. The Wi-Fi antenna is kind of broken in here, so I'm gonna see if I can find it. If the client wants to replace it, you can replace the whole antenna. We're gonna remove this side, so removing one screw on the top portion. Find the hinges. Now we can remove the hinge on this side. I'm gonna show you exactly how to fix the hinges so it prevents this one from happening again. So remove this aluminum thing because we don't need it. So on both sides. Alright. So I'm gonna put this to one side for now, and I'm gonna show you guys how to service the hinge before we do anything else. The only reason that the case broke and the whole thing is broken because people have the tendency to open they close the screens really quickly or often, and that makes it that the hinge starts locking down. And people, I see so many videos, this one is broken, even the rod is in there, but doesn't matter. This is not a stability rod, this is for the screen. You still can use this one if it's broken in here, but this rod is not even important. Anyway, the reason that the hinges are, I see so many videos that people like, okay, put super glue, put screws from here, put a screw through the case, and it's gonna work fine. But I never seen a video teaching anybody how to do a service on a hinge. And these hinges are made out of the washers right here. These are like a few washers. They call them a pressure washer. Now, these pressure washers, they just get forced down too quickly. So if I want to close this one, it's really hard. And the reason is because of the nut right at the top. This one, when you open and close it really quickly, this nut starts rotating a little bit and it starts pushing all those washers together, and it really tightens up the hinge. So what you want to do, you want to open it up a little bit, about half a turn, and then you find the sweet, soft, not too soft, not too hard spot for the hinge. So once we fix the bottom, the screws, and we glue everything together, so to prevent it from happening again, we need to do a maintenance on these hinges. Even this side is really, really tough. So what we're gonna do right now, first we're gonna grab a toothbrush, we're gonna clean up the hinge, just like this. Well, to remove all the, you don't need to put lubricant or anything. This one, they don't need that pressure washers. Lubricant is not gonna make it soft or anything like that, or DW or anything. So we're gonna close up the hinge really close, okay? Now we're gonna grab the tool and we're gonna just twist this torque about half a turn, and now we're gonna test it out, and now it's much softer. It's still hard, but we still want a little bit more softer. So we're gonna open it up a little bit more, half a turn more, and now look at it. It's like way better. It still has some pressure to hold the screen so the screen doesn't go back, doesn't fall down, but it's still soft, really nice. So we're gonna keep that one. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna close it down, and we're gonna open it up. One turn, half a turn. Now look at this one, is way too loose, so now it's really loose. The screen will go back or fall down really quick. So I'm gonna close it down half a turn, test it out. There you go. It's a little better, but a little more toughness I need. So you want to find a sweet spot for this one. I would say leave it as a little bit soft, so don't, with the over time they're gonna start locking down. Oh, there we have it. So now it's in a good position. So once we have serviced the hinges, now we're gonna we're gonna put the glue. So clean up all the dust, put an alcohol spray alcohol isopropylic 95% plus. Don't use any other alcohol. Okay, run the cables nicely. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start from this side. We're gonna first set down this one in here. This rod right over here, you don't need to buy a hinge. You don't actually need it, but to give a little bit of support for the LCD, not for the hinge, you can make it straight. These are soft metal, so leave it right there. Even the one in here, we're gonna straighten it up. Okay. So we have this one right in here. We're gonna percent it first, set it down. Make sure you find the right spot for this hinge. And it will be right over there. I don't have any screws for this one. You can buy a flathead screws to put it on top and put glue on the bottom, this and that, but honestly it's not necessary. All you need to do in here is to fill it up with a glue on the holes or even on the bottom. This is like a soft metal, so what I do, I'll grab a little grinder and start grinding this one a little bit so I guess kind of not too soft so the glue can actually hold to it. So I'm gonna grind this one in here and I'm gonna put glue on the bottom, and so the glue doesn't grab this cables right in there, so I can remove in the future the cables. You can tape those what do you call those cables, or you can just put a tiny amount of tape, cut the tape from here, put a little bit of tape where you think you're gonna put the glue in there, so the glue doesn't grab the tape. So the glue can go around the tape, so in the future if you want to remove it, you can remove it with no issue. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna grind this bottom part and I'll be back. You guys can see right now, I took it outside and I kind of grind it so it's not focusing. Is it gonna focus now? You guys can see it, but it's kind of grinded nicely, so it's kind of feels rough, so it's not too soft. So now I can put it on top here and put the tape, glue, and it's gonna hold it really nicely. So I'm gonna prepare my glue a little bit quickly. So you're gonna mix it, don't exaggerate, just put a little bit. There we go. And you're gonna mix it up. We're gonna remove this one. What I do, I like to put it on this side first, so that way I know where it's gonna be. Okay, now I'm gonna put it on the case where the screw holes go. So there we have it. Now I'm gonna set it down straight. And there we have it. If you have like the screws for this one, you can put the flat screw on top and it's gonna hold through it. I don't have any flat screw lying around here. I have one, mine is really big. I found one flathead screw, so I can grab a flathead screw. I'm gonna put it right on top and squeeze it down in there. So the tape is gonna go around the screw and it's gonna hold it in place. I'm gonna find one more. You don't necessarily have to put the screws on top, but I'm gonna put it. It looks a little better. There, I found another one here. This one is a chrome one. I'm gonna put it right there. So we did the same one here. Pretty much is the same logic. We're gonna do the same thing in there. So we're gonna align the cables right nicely all around. Run the cables, and pretty much we're gonna do the same thing in here. We're gonna put this one on side, clean it up, put the glue, and this one goes in this way, this way. So you want to put this one right in there, and again same thing, put the glue over and put 3 screws on top so you can hold the glue from there. If you don't have the glue and the screws, just fill it up with the, what do you call that, with the glue, and that's it. I'm gonna put some clips to hold it in place, and I'll come back tomorrow to finishing up putting up the top bezel and finishing up the rest, and I'll make the video. You can do a little bit of fillings on the side. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side, and I'll be back. I'm back here the next day, and today we're gonna work on the bezel, and we're gonna put the bezel. As you can see already, I did the same thing that we did in this side. I did on the other side. We put the glue and the screws on top, and the hinges are really soft, and it still can hold the weight of the screen. It's not too tight and neither too smooth. It's perfectly fine, and it's not ripping the part. Now we're gonna go right now and put the bezel. I cleaned up the bezel. I removed all those adhesive that it was in here. Remember, this again is a bezel, is not a support or anything like that. So we're gonna apply a little bit of the glue on the corners on the bottom side so it can hold with the bottom plastic because the clips are broken. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna let it dry overnight. We're gonna put a tiny drop, we're not gonna put excess in case we wanna open it up again. So we're gonna put one on top of this screw, one right there, there to hold it in the corners a little bit, at the bottom back side. I'm gonna put it on top of this one. Make sure you don't touch the hinges. The bottom of the bezel. Also, I'm gonna put in the corner where it's broken in here so it keeps it together. Now let's grab it and make sure you align the cables are nicely going through the right place. Set it down, and we're gonna squeeze it in. We're gonna use an alcohol to clean up all those excess. Okay, so grab your alcohol. Again, I'm using an isopropylic alcohol. It's very important. There we have it. So you can tape it on for overnight so it stays nicely and firmly in place. And I'm gonna squeeze the bottom side. Alright, so let's grab I like using the aluminum foil tape screw, the tape. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab a little bit of slices of this one. And we can remove this one the next day. So peel it off. Put one right on the hinges, right on the cover where the hinges go. All the way to the back. Another one on this side. One right at the bottom in the corner. Alright, and for the next one, what we can use a clippers. You can either buy clippers to hold it nice firmly in place. Put few of them in the sides or tape it up, whichever way you prefer. And That should be all. And we're gonna leave it dry up for overnight, and tomorrow we can just grab it and put the screws on and assemble it back together. And I'll be back once this one is finished up. Alright, now we have put the bezel on and put the tape. I removed the foil tapes, aluminum tapes on here, so it's really nice and solid. And this is how you're supposed to put it together. You can clean up the adhesive if you have taped it up. I'll try to clean it later on. But right now we're gonna assemble it back together. So we're gonna grab the bottom portion, we're gonna bring it over, and we're gonna slide it in an open position, the cables under the hinge. Make sure it goes all the way in. Once the cables are in there, you want to close it down. Now we're gonna grab the motherboard, we're gonna place it in here. Make sure all those cables, they're out of the way, they are not under the power on cable, everything. Align the I/O side down. Make sure the audio headphone jack, this cable, that cable. Plug in the power on switch button, lift up the jack, push the connector right underneath, close it down. Same thing for this one over here. So pretty much in here, what I'm doing, I'm lifting up this contact a little bit upward so it's elevated, and then I'm gonna stick the flex cable right in there all the way in, and then I'm gonna push down the lock over. Same thing for the trackpad, put it right there, slide the flex cable right in it and lock it down. Alright, gonna run the cable for Wi-Fi and everything else in here. So run the cable at the back. Let's put the fan in. So the fan's supposed to go this way in here. Okay, before we do anything, we have to put this side underneath. So I forgot to put the hinge. The hinge goes under the heatsink, or we can just leave it like that. There's another way to get there. So we can actually remove the heatsink and repaste it while we add it, so it will be a little better. And that way you already have a repasted CPU, or you can remove the motherboard. But I'm gonna take advantage and repaste in case you guys want to know how to repaste. Remove the 3 screw for the heatsink. Remove the heatsink, bring it up, put it to one side, and look at all that old thermal paste. So I'm gonna lock it down, move it around, wiggle it around so it locks in. There we go. Put one flat screw right there. There we have it. Now we're gonna clean up the old thermal paste. We're gonna use a workshop towel, and we're gonna use an alcohol, isopropylic or isopropylic alcohol, 95% plus, and we're gonna remove the excess of the thermal paste off the crystal die. Don't worry about around the crystal die or everything like that. As long as you clean the crystal die on the CPU, you're more than fine. No need to go crazy. Clean up the heat sink right on top. Grab your thermal paste. I'm gonna use an Arctic MX4. One drop right in the middle of the CPU. I mean one line, because it's like a big CPU. Put the heatsink over and put the 3 screws right on top. Also, you could remove the hinge, everything else without removing the motherboard, but it's good to remove the motherboard and clean it up. For the initial, you could have just done this and removed the hinge right underneath. So we're gonna lock down this hinge, bring it down, put it in place, put the power connector for the jack, slide it right in there, and put the fan straight over. Let's put the 3 screws for the fan, or the 3 screws. So I'm gonna grab the screws, put right over here, and the other one goes from the casing. I'm gonna put one right over here and one right in the corner here. Okay, so it goes just like that. Now we're gonna grab the Wi-Fi is right here. Remember, these cables were running under the motherboard, but I rather have it over the motherboard. I'm just gonna tangle it right through here around the fan where the flex cable for the screen goes to. So just tangle that through here. Bring the flex cable, just align it on top and push it down. Put the connector for the fan right in the jack. Now this flex cable you can run under the CPU, under the heatsink I mean, so it stays in place, and you can just rotate in here and snap it in place. Snap it in place. Leave it like this on top. You can put some gaffer's tape to hold it in here, but it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna stay there. I'm gonna cut this flimsy thing right here so it doesn't bother the fan. There we go. All right, now we have all this set. Now we need to put the battery in. But before we put the battery in, we have to put the screws for the motherboard. One flat screw right here. Okay. You can follow the video backward. I don't know where else there was a screw. The easy way to know where the screws goes, you see there's a screw that goes right in here, but that's for the battery. No, that's for hard drive. So let's grab the hard drive. The hard drive is missing few screws. You can get those and put it on, but it's not necessary. Slide this one in here. Where there's an X, that means this goes from the bottom cover. There should be screw here and here. So you can put the screws for this one. These are chrome screws. And what else do we have down here? So I got this screw right here, and this one right here goes through here. One right through there, two right through here. This one goes on top. These two goes from here, from there, there. So I gotta put the screw for here and here. So put one screw right there, and the next one goes right beside it right here. It might be a battery, but let's see. So, and also we got the speaker. We gotta put the speaker right on top here. But before we put the speaker, let's put the battery in. So sit down the battery nicely, run the cables for the battery first. I rather run the cable and connect the battery first. It's easier. So put the battery in there, run the cable right under the connectors, right on there, and grab it, put it on top. You see this screw goes with the battery, but this one is broken. This one is broken here too, so the battery is gonna somehow stay there. And yeah, so let's put one screw through here. Probably the screw goes from the top side. Yeah, the screw goes through here to hold the speaker in place. So there's not much we can do down here. Put this speaker right on top. Put the speaker connector right in place. Grab the DVD drive. Put down the DVD drive right here. And we should be fine right now, and we should just put the top cover on top. I mean the bottom cover, depends how you look at it. Let's put the hinge screws on the top corner. These are the most important ones. So put this 3 triangle screws right there, and then we're gonna do the left and right side. I'm gonna put one right here where the hard drive caddy was. I was holding the DVD drive too at the same time. So put these 2 screws right there, and it screws in the front corners, and then you can put the rest of them if you want. Put the bottom cover on and finish it up, but I still got to put the keyboard. I hope the keyboard goes from here. Yep. So the screen is staying open in whatever position I want. It's beautiful. There's no issue with it. So we're gonna grab the keyboard. The screws hold from the keyboard too, so we gotta put the keyboard before we put the rest of the screws. And put the keyboard right into the jack. Lock the jack. Bring the keyboard over. There's no other screw that goes from top. I would recommend you put the top side down under the palm rest, and then bring down, and what I do, I squeeze these corners to make here are tiny clicks. Those are the clips on that side, and then do the same thing in here. And then let go of the middle, so you move this curvature. And press the bottom side, so you hit that tiny clicks. That's what you want to hear. There we go. Now, we can put the bottom cover on the RAM, or we can just test it out before we put any more screws. Remember, once you turn it on, it might take 5 to 10 seconds for it to boot up, so don't panic. By power on, the power light is on. I don't know if you guys can see it, and we have a Toshiba logo, and it's working just fine. So I don't know what kind of system they have or not, and it's still rotating to boot up. And that's it for today's video. And if you guys have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Also, if you want to support the channel, don't forget about clicking that like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.